Cerebralsoft is a nonprofit that I founded to teach human programming classes. It helps people be able to better network, use advanced nonverbal communication, and program their brains to get the most out of their life. Well, we don't always want to be those things the way other people perceive them. We want to be those things as they are to us and how they reflect who we are as independent people. So those are things that we want to keep in mind, and those are all things you can create new and add to your character. Sort of like, I don't know if you're familiar with gaming, but you can create, a lot of times in video games, you can create what you look like, kind of your attitude, you know, certain things like that. And that's what you're doing. Communal decisions are usually something like, you know, everyone in my community thinks that it's good to recycle, so I recycle. The difference between that, which is fine, you can do that, but an iSource is thinking, you know, from all of my personal research and understanding what's happening with the environment, I think it's imperative that I begin to recycle. You know, sometimes, basically, that's the difference of just going because other people said to, or going because you know it's the right thing to do, and that you're really impacting the world in a positive way by doing it. Now, this is a part, like, we talk about ethics in self-programming, and I'll pose this question. What do you think, what bad things could happen if you were understanding the program, what people had, like what programming other people had, and you were aware that you could use their programming against them? You think that that's a good thing to do? So, with ethics and programming, you could do bad things if you understood that other people have external programs and they're not really aware of their ability to make self-decisions. You can manipulate them by feeding them media or feeding them information to make them think a certain way to get the result that you wanted. Now, whenever you were to use programming, if you were to use programming that would affect other people, and this is, you know, kind of along with a little more advanced levels, but it's done every day, you should ethically consider the effects of programming by using a 5PIA, which is a 5-point effect assessment, and I'm just say 5PIA, and that's just point. So you're going to go over 5 points of the effects of your assessment. Of those effects. So basically what you want to do is list the benefits. So it's kind of like, we'll just create a scenario. Say I wanted to get everybody in my neighborhood to start buying my Lysol, new Lysol spray, not Lysol, but my Moriah spray. Okay, and I knew everybody's really scared about Ebola, you know, and people are afraid to walk outside their homes, just get to touch things. So I'm going to scare everyone in my neighborhood by saying, well, you know, Ebola's here. You know, and I may not even have to lie, you know, but because I know that they've already been conditioned by media to be afraid of a disease that could or may not, you know, may not affect them, you know, I could use that as a selling point because I know that they're programmed. The right thing to do is, you know, is up to you. You know, is that the right thing to do? Should I take advantage of the situation? Or should I not? So what you would do is you list the benefits. What are the benefits? I might make some money. You know, they might not get Ebola. I don't even know if my spray works, but they might not get Ebola. You know, we don't know if it works. What are the costs? All these people are trusting me and they think that I'm doing something good for them and I care about them. Am I risking relationship values? You know, people I really care about, they may get mad at me, they may not want to talk to me, they found out all I'm trying to do is take advantage of the situation. And then you weigh the benefits. Is the money I'm going to make worth the cost of these relationships? Then also, I would want to identify my reasoning. You know, do I have other ways to come up with making money? Do I have additional information that I should validate before I make that kind of decision? And then what you want to do is summarize all this. Focus is a deliberate thought command that magnifies the precedent, current, and future states of focal points. Then we want to make sure we understand that a focal point is anything the mind zeroes in on by prompt. Okay? And that's going into TRS receipt, which is a knowing that someone's thinking about you, basically. So we're going to look at this from a non-self-programming perspective first. A typical conversation between two people often exhibits a series of phrases during a dialogue exchange that indicate TRS factors, even if neither person acknowledges what occurred. Pinpointing occurrences is one of our 3 steps to building awareness. So what we're doing in this worksheet is we're going to look at an example between 2 people, and then we're going to analyze what happened in between these 2 people.
Daniel and Kirk are 2 college students and study partners who normally meet at Central Library on Wednesday afternoons to go over the trigonometry assignments due weekly by Friday. The Wednesday of note, Kirk didn't show and sent Danielle a text advising her that he wouldn't be able to make it.
Is everything okay? I was worried when we didn't meet on Wednesday. I kept thinking of you being in the hospital or something awful.
Sorry to let you down, but my brother was in a car accident and was rushed to the ER.
I knew something was wrong. Is he going to be alright?
Yes, but he has several broken bones and lesions on his arms.
I wanted to call you several times.
I was thinking of calling you too. We'll chat more after class.
So, this is a pinpointing occurrence exercise. What happened between Danielle and Kirk is that Danielle was able to feel what Kirk was dealing with in his life. One of the main things that she sees is that she's like, I kept thinking of you being in the hospital or something awful. Where was he? He was in the hospital because of his brother. Okay, so what we can do is we can use our accompanying worksheet, this sheet right here. And this sheet actually says higher accuracy, but basically what we're saying is higher awareness increases the sensitivity to TRS factors, which is our communication through our nucleus to nucleus, or spirit to spirit communication.